Hey, the Berry's doing something a little bit different here. I am on the PBE server and we're going to be doing some Nami testing for tomorrow. I'm recording this on the Tuesday, so it's ready for you when the items go live on Wednesday if you decide to play Nami. There's one item I wanted to test out which I didn't get to last time I did a pre-season 11 item. We covered a couple with the enchanters, mages and the tanks, but there's the Imperial Mandate that we haven't been able to test out yet because it wasn't actually out on the PBE when we did that video. So there's something interesting with Nami that I want to test out, and that is the Imperial Mandate on her E on allied champions. Now, I have a feeling, this is what we're testing out here anyway, I have a feeling that this item in its current state is going to be absolutely busted on her. So if you don't know what the item is, it costs I think 2,600 gold, so it's a bit more expensive, you know, as your first item as you normally would have on a support. It's one of the new mythic item lines. So on the item itself is if you slow or immobilize an enemy, you do extra magic damage, and then if an allied champion hits that target as well within, I think it's 4 or 5 seconds, it does extra damage as well. Now if you put your E buff on an ally, so you know those three little balls or bubbles on an allied target, and they hit the target, it will do the slow, but it should also count as an ally hitting the target as well, so it should effectively just instantly proc off. Now you can do that with all the charges on the Nami's E separately. So yeah, you can see where it's like kind of heading down. So we're going to be rushing the item as quickly as possible, and then we're going to be focusing more towards spell haste as opposed to anything else in terms of healing or anything. We're going to do like a burst Nami mage with allies kind of thing going on here. I hope that kind of makes some sense. We'll have to obviously start Spell Thief's Edge, grab a couple of health potions, normal buy at least anyway. Now what I'm thinking is that we could end up putting 3 points in the W and then maxing E. The slow percent goes up a little bit as well, which will enable our allies to plan hits maybe a tiny bit more often. So here's the item that we're after. One of these mythic items, 2,700 Imperial Mandate. So as you can see, does between 60 and 100 bonus magic damage when you slow them. You can do that yourself with your own E, or if you've got your E and you're doing a W, that will still do the extra damage. But and it will mark them for 4 seconds, but you need an ally. Very much like Leona's passive. It's probably the best way to explain it. It's a giga version of Leona's passive. So hopefully it should work, and we should see some insane damage. There is a mark detonation, the cooldown of 6 seconds, so it's not like you can use the 3 charges for the detonation part on the same target, but the initial extra effect should still work. I'm hoping at least on the same target. But it should still get an instant detonation off, and the more cooldown you have, you can then give it to different allies if needed as well. If we can get it down that low, which I'm not exactly sure if we'll be able to or not. Should probably show my runes a little bit more. We are running Transcendence, which now scales a little bit earlier, which is nice. So I should probably add as well, we're on the PBE servers, everything is still subject to change. Plus I'm playing on NA servers right now from EU, so I do have 100 MS. Nothing really to do at the moment, just a lot of back and forth trading. Oh, I actually got creep blocked there by the Aphelios and I couldn't move out of the Soraka queue. Not a lot going on at the moment. We need to start thinking about Zac ganks happening soon. That Ezreal has smite. Maybe there's a jungle item that we're not aware of that's might potentially be pretty strong. So we are struggling down here a little bit. Haven't got my bubble yet. We're a level behind at the moment. Nice trade there from Aphelios. We keep getting creep blocked here, quite a lot. That was a pretty sick arcane shift into me actually. Was not expecting that. Soraka is out of mana. They may have recalled Zax now in the river. Yeah, not a huge amount to do. We'll say the enemy team are playing quite well. Should probably try and loot fish in another wave. It should just be Ezreal. Not the cleanest laning phase start. But we're getting there. Ez just bought a tear and a longsword. Ember knife, not sure what that item is. There's a lot of words on that jungle item. Alright, Imperial Mandate. We're going to be rushing this. We'll pick up a Fairy Charm and we'll get Boots 1 and we'll get a Control Ward. Okay. Fairy Charm is now double the cost now at 250. Up from 125, but it does give you double the regen. But in total, it is kind of like a slight nerf potentially to support, purely because if you're short on change, you can't get like half the mana regen. So it's 250 or nothing basically. Don't have Ignite. Not for a little while. So we've got a pickaxe on the Aphelios. Not sure what he's buying yet, not familiar with a lot of the AD items. Nice little double poke harassment there. So we are getting more gold if you haven't noticed, by the way, on Spell Thieves. It's gone up from 15 per hit to 20. So we're going to be able to complete our ward quests a little bit earlier. Got Ignite available, no flash. We've got a Zax top, so we don't have to worry about him for now. Soraka's pretty low. Need a ward in a second. Put one here. Oh man. Getting used to this higher ping is quite difficult, but we're managing to make it work as long as I don't die. Oh, that's good. Soraka's really low. Thing is, she hasn't landed her Q in a while, so it's actually costing her a lot of her health to do the heals. Gotta be careful, Zac could be down here. Yeah, it's just level 6. I think I could have done better there, honestly. I don't think I needed to let Aphelios die. Okay. But hey, all intended, right? So we get some extra gold for getting the kill so we can rush our Imperial Mandate a little bit quicker. Totally planned. Now this Bandle Glass Mirror is interesting. It's going to be the first item that you're going to want to take for the combined cost. So the item gives you 20 ability power, 10 ability haste, which is roughly about 8% cooldown reduction. That is the rough translation to that, I believe. And 50% base mana regen, which we got from the Fairy Charm. So the thing that we're paying for that combined cost of the book and the Fairy Charm is basically 8% cooldown reduction, which honestly isn't particularly too great. But a lot of these items now, especially the support items, seem to have like a lot of cooldown reduction. You'll see that a lot of spell haste added to these items. That's a good sign. So I couldn't bubble the Ezreal. Okay. Shame we couldn't kill a Soraka as well. And now we've completed the first part of our gold quest. It looks like a competitive game though. It doesn't seem like we're doing too well everywhere. I think our jungle's behind. I think that's the main part of this game. Alright, I think we'll just max W as normal. Wait, there's a plate here that's gonna fall. Okay, good. Right, that does mean now we can now move into Kindle Gem, which isn't great. We're gonna get some spell haste, ability haste again, but the extra health isn't particularly super duper amazing. But now we're getting really close towards the Imperial Mandate. We only need another 600 gold now. So even though these mythic items here are generally more expensive than, you know, what you would normally buy like in Everything's and Holy Grail, but the flip side is we are generating a little bit more cash from the support starting item. Just a little bit. Doesn't offset it entirely, but it's still something. Now if this game progresses on until level 13, I'm going to be able to show you a new item that I haven't been able to purchase yet because it's been bugged, but I did test it out on the okay, that should hit. Good. I did test it out on the practice tool, and that's the new Sightstone that they added. If I can find it, it's there. The Vigilant Wardstone. You have to be level 30. You have to be level 13 to buy it. But once you do buy it at level 13, it doesn't cost too much. I think it's 1,100. Yeah, it's 1,100 gold. But basically by the time you purchase that item, you're going to be able to put down 4 wards and 2 control wards at the same time. So you can have 6 wards on the map as opposed to 4, which is pretty huge. It does mean the first support to hit level 13 will have quite a bit more vision on the map. Right, here we go. We've got the Imperial Mandate now. Let's test this out. And then we could then move into maybe Ardent Sensor for the Helios would be okay. Every legendary item that we pick up now from the Imperial Mandate, we're going to get an extra 15 ability power also, so we'll increase the slows and the damage and the heals that we do by a little bit. We're currently sitting on 81 AP with the current setup that we've got. And because we've hit level 8, we've got plus 10 ability haste from that as well. Maybe we can catch up the Soraka here. Whoa, that damage, dude. Alright, let's use the E on the Aphelios. I think he was already marked from the wave that I did. But the damage I just did there to Soraka was actually pretty insane. 441 bonus damage already. Just from that one trade. That's like a third of my health. Just from the item. What I'll do here next is I'll just put the effect onto the Aphelios. He hasn't hit yet. Okay, and he died. He took like 4 turret hits or something. Let's see how much damage we can do to this Zac. It's a reasonable amount of damage. Soraka's going to heal up here though. Oh, missed the bubble. Of course I missed the bubble. No, Mr. Zac. Yeah, it's a little shame the Aphelios took a lot of turret hits there. We'll keep moving into cooldown reduction. Get the lucidity. Gotta stop calling it cooldown reduction. Gotta start calling it ability haste. But we can go into the Ardent, and then you would want basically enough cash after that. We could do redemption. Would redemption proc? No, because the redemption won't slow. I was gonna say. Actually, let's do Staff of Flowing Water. It's more a theme of Nami. Staff of Flowing Water basically it gives us healing or shielding. When we heal or shield, sorry, it gives us movement speed and gives me and the target more ability power. Let's see if we can 1v1 the Azir of this item. Maybe not under turret, that might be a little bit too difficult. Should have just ulted it straight away. Okay. Aphelios is coming in now. Okay. Trying to catch up with him. He's got him. Not bad. Might have to run from this. I've already completed my so good condemn. How much damage have we done with this? 1,100 already. I mean, it's a ton of extra damage. And your other support items on Nami, you have your Shurilias, which honestly doesn't seem that great for Nami since you're not really chasing people down like that. And then you've got the Moonstone Renewer, which gives out their little extra healing out, which honestly I'm not really a fan of. But it does give you a lot of extra ability haste because of the passive aura that from as you purchase more legendary items, you'll get more haste. She's doing a lot of damage, that Samira. She's actually going to win this fight here as well. You haven't got enough damage to kill her. I'll let her get the kill there. Nice. Ah, looks like we were busy over here as well. Still got an assist. Right. It would be interesting to see if we can get a proper team fight though with this Imperial Mandate in effect. So one auto attack with E. I think that did about 150 extra. If Ophidios hits the target, it would do a little bit more. It would do about 150 if he hits the target. There we go. That's a nasty little burst there. Try to back away there. Use Ignite on the Zac. Oh. Guess we're asking a little bit too much, just the two of us. That's just jumped up to 1.8k damage. Like, the burst when we did that play around here was noticeable in Soraka. I will admit though, it doesn't seem as noticeable in some of these team fights, but the damage numbers are still pretty high, if I'm honest. Like, 1,800 damage when we honestly haven't been doing that much in terms of fights is particularly high for an item. If we can get like a little bit more, rather than these random little fights, if we can actually get like a proper fight. A decent like 4v4 fight kind of thing going on. Then maybe we'll see it properly in action because it should mark multiple targets. Like if I do a multi-wave, or even if I just put my E on someone that does an AoE cast. That should be pretty nice. What? I nearly 1v1 the Vayne. I'm probably gonna die here. Oh. 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 Died to red buff there at the end, 22 health. My W was just about to come off cooldown. So this should give me a little bit more AP, which will increase the slows and my passive as well in particular. The extra movement speed would be quite nice too. Gives both you and the target that you're healing extra movement speed as well, which is going to scale nicely with the flat movement speed that we're giving people with the passive. So a lot of movement and slows. I'm just going to wait out on base for it. And then we need to save up cash. We basically need to make sure we've got 1,100 gold to buy this Vigilant Wardstone because it's going to be pretty strong for us. One thing I haven't been doing, which has been pretty bad, is been warding. Actually been pretty bad at warding. If you do end up falling behind them for whatever reason in terms of warding, you can actually spam. You need 20. One of the requirements is that you need to put 20 stealth wards down in order to be able to purchase the item. But you can actually spam them in the fountain. So if you are desperate in terms of needing to complete the item. Alright, big team fight. Waved. Don't let me down. They let me down. Whoa, that Azir. So I say that Azir spike damage is pretty huge. Oh, it's gonna be another one. Nice. You could really see the extra movement speed there. Works off area as well, of course it does, the Staff of Flowing Water. So she's getting plus 36 AP just from me giving her the Aerie. And 15% movement speed as well. She gets 500 movement speed, 380 base, if I shield her, goes up to 500. Sure, it's a slight temporarily for like 1.5 to 2 seconds, but like basically instantly turn into a Rammus for 1.5 seconds is pretty insane. So we can't quite get. We were one level away from being able to purchase this. I think we should just buy another controlled and just wait out. because you're going to want to have that. And what we're probably going to have to do is we're going to have to spam the rest of the wards in the fountain, I assume. I don't think we planted 20 wards this game. Trying to get here. Spirit's got it though. Yeah, that's one thing I haven't been doing actually this game, was warding. Been too busy talking about items and looking for fights, and I've not really been thinking about actual vision. Let's see her movement speed as she's running. Okay, so that's 380. Shield her. It's like she's popped like a mini ghost. It's pretty hilarious actually. In terms of cooldown reduction, we're on about 31% apparently. Okay. Not much really going on at the map at the moment. Just wondering if we should hit level 13 next time we go by. Should being the keyword. This is bugged at the moment. It says current Star Force played 0 out of 3, but definitely have some wards on the map. Hopefully that's fixed by the time it goes to live. There we go. Not sure if Samira has any ability power scalings. Oh, that sucks for me. That oh no. I was gonna say it doesn't affect Zac blobs, the Imperial Mandate, so you can't like detonate each individual blob, which makes sense, I guess. Whoa. Alright, we did hit level 13 though. So we can buy the Vigilant Wardstone. Well, sorry, the Stirring Wardstone, and then it will automatically upgrade to Watchful Wardstone and give us 25 ability haste when we put down 20 wards, which we apparently have put down 15. And if we buy control wards now, they will store up in the item itself. See, we've got 3 charges now, so we get to hold an extra control ward as well now. What we can also do is we can save our cash. We can fully go into a fully upgraded Vigilant Wardstone. Also, when you purchase the Stirring Wardstone, it doesn't count towards the mythic passive bonus, but it will eventually. That's upgraded to Watchful Wardstone, but it's still not counting as a legendary item. It needs to be fully completed into the Vigilant Wardstone, so we need another 1,200 gold for it to give us an extra 15. Oh my god. Alright, I'm happy that I managed to kill the Ez there. Accidentally put down one of my controllers. Alright. The damage there. I think this season is going to be interesting because it feels like there's more damage on more champions than ever. And it feels like burst damage this season is definitely the thing is going to be more noticeable. I'm not sure if it's going to be easy to move into tank items in order to mitigate that either. But we'll see. Might have just lost the game there. Me and Vlad are going to have to do a last stand here. So we're on 212 AP at the moment with 41% cooldown reduction. We can probably defend this. If you play it right, that's a double bubble. Also, I'm giving Vladimir ability haste. Okay, cool. Can't catch up to her. That was close. Luckily I healed myself there. Still got my wards down. Oh, we're allowed 4 wards on the map now and 2 control wards just by having the by putting the 20 wards down. So you don't need to upgrade it to this point here in order to get the extra ward caps in, but it will give you the legendary effect, so 15 extra ability power, plus it gives you an extra 10% movement speed, and I think plus 15 ability haste, which now we're now on 46% cooldown reduction, and we still have another item to go as well. This is still winnable. So I can put 2 control wards down and 4 normal wards. Let's show that. Does mean you can cover both of your flanks now efficiently. Control ward there, control ward here. Probably need to get the Baron sided more warded up because of the it's going to be spawning shortly. That bounce, and then it's going to give Vladimir an extra bit of movement speed there as well. We've got a lot of vision on the map now. Whoa. That was a condemn. I thought that was like a new item thing there or something weird. Wave here should be pretty strong. Izzy got knocked up at the back. Vladimir's going for it. And he's dead. Probably gonna get turned and engaged here. Well, he's bubbled, but we don't really do any damage. I think we do have grievous wounds on somebody. But with Vlad dead, our damage goes down a lot. They'll probably go Baron here. I think because we've got 2 80 carries, I think we can do Ardent next. That's going to give us a little bit more heal and shield power. Some extra mana regen, but that's not really that important now at this stage. Which is a little bit shame. Like every time like I'm seeing the mana regen, it's like, would have given us extra ability power if we had Athene's on Holy Grail. Careful, Kane. Uh-oh. This could work. Nice. I'm very low though. Holy moly. Didn't realize I was that low. Alright, they're wasting their Baron bus. I'm gonna die to these minions if I'm not careful. Did manage to knock up the Zac though. I can't handle all of these minions, man. Oh, Vayne tried to go for me there. It's actually a good thing we got all of this extra mana regen, otherwise I would actually be having mana troubles now at this stage. Wasn't a good bubble there. Put Ignite on the Zac, Zac flash. If it is still backdooring, he killed the Soraka. We need to get this dragon. I think Aphelios is gonna die. Oh, okay, well he killed Ezreal. Dragon's about to pop up. Oh no. We actually lose that kit? Okay, we might be in a lot of trouble. How quickly can we do this? They're not going for the dragon. They're running it down mid, I think. Okay, good. So we're still on, what, 46% cooldown reduction. Once we pick up the Ardent Sensor, the Ardent Sensor actually hasn't got any more cooldown reduction, so if this build will just have 46% full stop. Whoa, that burst out my W on the vein, what? How much does Imperial Mandate? Imperial Mandate has done 6.6k damage. Alone, like nothing else, not including like, you know, everything else that we've done this game in terms of like, need to buy controls actually. I keep forgetting this thing isn't giving me actual controls. It's not a great bubble. No, I'm gonna die. I tried to get into bubble the vein. 4 people are dead. It's just like, alright, good. Alright, let's pick up those extra controls. Yeah, it's a bit confusing having that slot filled up with the actual item because it feels like I should have control wards there already, but they're not there. The Ardent Sensor would be quite nice on this team. I think if you haven't got a... If you need to cleanse, like, rather than doing attack speed steroid, then the Michaels would be quite nice. You get extra 15 ability haste there, so you can push into probably around about 50% cooldown reduction in a full build. The Elixir of Sorcery won't give you any cooldown reduction, unfortunately. So the cap really in a normal game is around about 50%. If you're running Transcendence and Cosmic Insight. I guess you could run cooldown reduction, ability haste on the stat rune. That way you can squeeze out a little bit more, but then you would lose the adaptive damage for the laning phase, which I'm not entirely sure would be worth losing, as laning phase would then be a little bit harder. But you could always do that. Don't know how often, I don't know what the average game length is going to be. But if the average game length is going to be quite long, then maybe the ability haste rune would be more worth it than the adaptive force. Need 100 gold for an Ardent Sensor, it's not going to happen. Yeah, my heals feel pretty meh, if I'm going to be honest. Whoa. Okay. I will say that my heals do feel not particularly super duper amazing. Whoa. This could be okay. Ezra's getting knocked up here. Bounces over to Vlad, bounces over to Azir, and now I'm tanking the Zac by myself. Apparently I killed Azir. Imperial Mandate 7.6k damage, and that's a surrender by the enemy team. Nice. That was actually a decent quality game when we got to look at. A lot of the enchanter items, really. At least particularly for Nami. But apart from like the Imperial Mandate, I don't see why you wouldn't do Imperial Mandate. 7.6k damage from an item is... to me, for an enchanter, is borderline insane. Don't mind the Iron 1, by the way. That was actually a pretty decent quality game. It's PvE ranked reset. There we go. But we are Iron 1, not Iron 4. Yeah, and PvE does have ranked. I don't even know if PvE had ranked all along, but I don't know if it's a new feature. But, you know, if you're watching that game, I think most people in that game actually played pretty well, apart from maybe the Kayn. But it's still pretty funny. But let's have a look at the damage done. Yeah. Okay, well, I was glitching out on Azir because Azir definitely did damage that game. But yeah, 2.28k damage on Nami. It seems that everyone's damage numbers are higher. I don't know if this is going to be reliable just because the Azir's numbers are pretty bugged there, but you can see the difference, I guess, between me and Soraka. So 28k, my item did about 7k. So that my item did about 25% extra of my damage, which isn't bad at all. It's actually pretty decent. The only other option really I'd say is you could look into like a Locket Nami or the Moonstone Pendant, but I'm not a real fan of the Moonstone Pendant, especially with the amount of Grievous runes that people can buy now this season. Not sure if it's entirely going to be worth it, but hopefully, you know, if you play Nami a lot and you're wondering what kind of items to dip into for the start of season 11, then give that build a little try. I'll just showcase my runes just one last time, just in case you missed it. Wrong button. I'm looking at ranked and collections. There we go. Getting there. So these were the runes that I kind of running here. Very standard runes. Gathering Storm you could maybe change for Scorch or something. New Transcendence is a lot better now for support because now you get the ability haste now anyway. Earlier, as before you had to wait like until level 10 to get the full effect. So that's a huge buff for supports the new Transcendence. And you know, Biscuits and Cosmic Insight are pretty normal. If you didn't want to go into this extra mana route, then you could go into Bone Plating Revitalize, which will make your heals a little bit stronger. But I wouldn't really bother with this unless you are definitely going to go the Moonstone Pendant, as you'll get more effect from that Revitalize. And what we were talking about earlier is, instead of going the 9 Adaptive Force, you could do the Ability Haste, which if average game length is going up, which it might do, usually it does at the start of the season, it might be worth taking, as you'll get more value, as it scales basically on levels, so the higher level you are, the more ability haste. So you could, with that rune there, you could probably get an extra maybe 3 to 4% cooldown reduction mid to late game, which, you know, isn't huge, but it's all right. Cooldown reduction overall scales more generally the more you have on it, but they have kind of like made it more, the curve is now not a curve, it's now just a straight line. So it could be worth, you'll shave off a few seconds off your ultimate, you'll shave off maybe half a second max, and probably not even that, maybe a third of a second off some of your abilities, which could come out and being a little bit handy. But probably not when you've got Transcendence, and if you do get a champion takedown, your basic abilities cooldown is going to be reduced a decent amount anyway. I think just stick with the adaptive and make sure you do well in that laning phase. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully it had enough information there if you like playing Nami to set you off on the right track into the season. As always, this is PPE pre-season. You know, items are going to change, stats are going to change, probably, if not definitely, on some of these items at least anyway. But hopefully, you know, as I said, it gives you an idea of what's going to be happening when you do your first few games, so it's not too overwhelming for you. But yeah, I think it's going to be important to make sure you've got that 1.1k available when you're level 13 to instantly buy that Wardstone. And I think it's worth, unless the enemy are about to do Baron, it's worth spamming those wards in the fountain just so they instantly upgrades automatically, and then gives you, I think it's plus 25 ability haste, which is probably would equate to roughly about 18, 19, maybe even closer towards 20% actual cooldown reduction for you. So it's going to be like your big cooldown reduction item. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe. I stream on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/Bizzleberry. And yeah, expect more guides for each of the champions, similar fashion to this, in the coming weeks. And then I'll do some in-depth guides once Season 11's properly out there, once there's no more fudging of the items. And in December, expect some Wild Rift videos too. Take care, all the best, and yeah, come say hi to me on Twitch. Oh, and stay very awesome. How could I forget?